Okay, let's go to another topic, but with a very pronounced attachment to the Spanish-speaking people. You served as a mission president in Cali, Colombia in the 70s. I've actually been to Cali and have a picture of it, a vivid picture of it in my mind. Tell us about what that was like, including the fact that we're talking about that was the home of one of the world's most pronounced drug cartels at the time.
We were called, and the oldest son, 10, the youngest, 6 months. So with 6 little children and a young family, board a plane, fly to Cali, Colombia, and have the adventure of our life. And our children to this day have it as their fondest memories, because it was 3 years of an adventure. And providentially, the Lord watched over us. We were so blessed. The children went to a North American school. The 3 or 4 oldest did fairly well with Spanish. But at that time, providentially, what you know today as the drug cartel did not exist. The only thing that existed was petty theft and just the typical dangers of missionaries being out in some neighborhoods that are unsafe. So we didn't have to face that.
So that came later.
It did. It may have been percolating at the time, but we never saw it.
What did you learn serving as a mission president in that part of the world at that time? And where was the church in its development at that time?
The church was first introduced to Colombia in 1966, so 9 years later.
So it was young.
Very young, 9 years old, and we had 3 struggling districts of about total membership, maybe 4,000 members in 21 branches, and we did not have one endowed or temple sealed local member. The only ones endowed were our missionaries and us. So it was a very, very young church. We're about the gathering of Israel. And Elder Lawrence E. Dunn taught me a little phrase that we witnessed, and you witness today, that the blood of Israel has a spiritual ability to recognize truth, which they bring with them from premortal life, where they learned their first lessons. And so as missionaries go out and teach and testify, the sincere recognized it, and we began to grow the church sufficiently that from the Cali district of 5 branches, when we left 3 years later, we created the Cali stake. Now, historically, there's a piece of this was so remarkable. One of the great challenges of that era was that people of African ancestry could not hold the priesthood. That was one of our greatest challenges. So on the very weekend that was announced in 1978, Elder Marky Peterson was in Cali, Colombia, and read that announcement as he formed the Cali, Colombia stake. In fact, when we were summoned to the hotel to meet with Elder Peterson and Elder Cook, a knock came at the door, and the mission secretary, he said, "Elder Jensen, I didn't think I should interrupt you, but I just received a telegram that I think you want to read." So I read it and put it in the hands of Elder Peterson. He said, "Yes, President Kimball has been calling me, and the announcement is correct." So it was quite a memorable historical weekend in many ways.